Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going over my little setup that I have for this guy, the 458 Socom. I just put together a rifle. I like it a lot, and I wanted something different, and I decided on this. I guess I wanted extreme. I guess that's just me. But anyway, as I was putting together my parts and stuff, I said, well, we'll look up some bullets and stuff, and they are expensive if you buy them from the factory. So I like to go out and shoot, quite a bit, and $2 or $3 a round just would not be cost effective for me to do that. Basically, you just build a gun and put it in a safe, shoot it once or twice, and that's not me. So I started researching reloading equipment and things, and even reloading, same as the bullets, are going to be quite expensive for this. But once you get it set up and started to go, you'll find that it's be pretty beneficial for its cost savings. So we'll get into it. So my particular setup, we'll start from the beginning here. I have a Lee turret press, 4-hole turret press, and I'll show you how I got it set up. I bought Redding dies. I bought the Redding full-length resizer and the bullet seating die, and they were around $90. So like I said, it's not cheap, but we'll get to the cost benefits later. I also, with that, I got Lee factory crimp die. It was like another $10, and the same goes for the. Let me get it around here. The Lee powder through expanding die, and I got that because I didn't want to buy another separate press just for this. I wanted something that would run my auto drum measure, and you just buy that and then just put the adapter to it, and it works just fine. Well, it's not an adapter; it just raises it above this, but that comes with the kit. When I first started looking reloading, I didn't really want a single stage because I was doing pistol. I didn't want to go through one round at a time, but I didn't want to spend the money on a big, expensive progressive. So this is kind of like the middle of the road because I do shoot, but I don't shoot buckets a day. I shoot often, but not like some of the guys do. So this works out great for me. And it's a good beginner's press, and it probably lasts me my lifetime, truthfully. So anyway, I got the Redding dies, and also along with this powder measure. The reason why I like it because you don't have to separately, go out every single time and put a full charge or charge your round single-handedly. It just comes with the stroke pull of the handle. I like it because you also can switch out calibers very fast. It comes with these drums. I got two more over there, one for my 9mm and then one for my 40 caliber. You just take these drums out once you get them set for how much grains you want, and then pretty much I just write on the side how much grains they are and what they're for, and you just take them out, switch them out. So say if I want to go, right now I want to go load some 9mm because I ran out of stuff for this. Obviously change your powder, but you just take that drum out, put that one in, put the powder you're going to use. I use CFE, and just double check with your measure or your scale. Sorry, I had a brain fart. You measure, just double check the scale, put it in, boom, you're ready to go. So that's what I like about it. It's kind of a little easier. And this drum, some people say that leakage and stuff. I have not had any leakage. I use Accurate 1680. I've also, like I said, I use the CFE pistol, and I've also used Tight Group with it, and I've had no spillage. Well, I'll take that back. Sometimes you have to check these drums. It comes with 4. The first one I put in, when I pulled the thing back, man, it spilt out powder everywhere, and I was kind of pissed, to be truthful. I was like, well, I'm going to have to go to single stage operation here. But as I read somewhere, just try another drum. So I did that, took that other one out, put a new one in, and it works fine. I ran about 100 through here, and as you can see, I have no spillage. I do have a couple grains because me not paying attention. I reloaded a full 34 grains of powder without a primer, and that makes an awful mess. But other than that, it works very well. So anyway, that's my setup for my actual reloading operation there. When you start, I would suggest also, especially in this caliber in particular, to get a case gauge. This one is from Tromix. It is expensive. It's about, I think it's $45. I'm not for sure, but it's on their website. I like it because it's got a cutaway. Some of them you get, it's just solid like this all the way around. And if you put your round in here, I'm trying to look at the camera. Say if it's sitting proud, like if it's sitting like this, and you're looking, you know something's wrong, but you can't figure it out. Well, this one's going to show you why. And you see here there are a couple sets of grooves there. The first one is for your shoulder setback. And what it's going to show, even with these brand new cases that I have, I always redo them or resize them from the factory anyway. Because you can see, putting it in here, it sets slightly, ever so slight. It's hard to see through the camera, but it's sitting proud. So what that means is that the shoulder, and you can see a little gap right there where the shoulder is, the little hump. The shoulder's not set back far enough, and that could cause some chambering issues. So this is going to show you, what's going on. Another thing is you put it in here, if it's still setting up high, and you're like, if it's setting like this, and you can't tell why, you can just look in here, and you're like, well, this one's not, but say your bullet was too far, and it was hitting the lands down here. It's going to show you that. And it also show, if you can tell, that second groove right there, if I can get it to focus, that's for your case length. And you can see it's just a perfect cutout of what it should look like. It even has got the rifling in it. So I like this a lot. Like I said, that's got your shoulder, your case length, and then also show if your bullet is touching the grooves, which they shouldn't be. Not for this particular weapon anyway. So I've already got these resized. You set it in here, and according to the instructions from the factory, the case head should be just slightly below level here. It says take a straight edge, place on top, and you should see a slight gap there. That's what it should look like, a slight gap. And you can tell even right here that there's right there on the back edge there, that there's a little, you can see there's a little lip where it comes up. So I kind of look now, when I go in here and I do it, I can tell immediately when I put a resized case in there, if I see that little edge, that it's going to chamber perfectly. So I would suggest investing in one of these. $45, but it's a good peace of mind to make sure it's going to chamber in your weapon every time. So I'm out of resized cases, so we'll go into that setup next. Let me get my things out and ready, and then I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so now we're going to resize. Like I said before, you should always go ahead and resize even brand new cases. So we've got our, resizer set up. And going back to the shoulder before, if you do happen to, you resize it and your shoulder's still hitting and it's not going in far enough, what you do is you could have play or something's not getting pressed, it's not getting pressed down hard enough into the die. So make sure your die is tight for one. And then you want all the play out of your linkage, all the play out of this. And then with this particular, being a turret press, there's a little play in this too. If it's a single stage, it's not as particular, but with this one it is. It will raise up a little bit. So what you do is, once you get it set up, once it touches, I even overcam it to where, this is even not touching. That way when I press down and it does touch, absolutely all the play is out of every piece in here. This is not moving at all. So just be sure, if you do, that's how you set your shoulder on this. You just gotta make sure that you get this nice and tight and all the play is out. So anyway, I don't have a pad right now. I just got this stuff the other day, and I need to kind of get some more things together. But I didn't have any wax All they had was this Imperial Bio Green. It works really well, actually. But I know that people swear by the wax, reading on other forums. If you think you're going to get away with just, if you've reloaded before and you think you're going to get away with waxing or lubing every other case, every 2 or 3 cases, you're wrong. This particular caliber or case, it needs to be lubed every single time because this thing will get stuck. And if you even start to have even the slightest resistance, immediately stop, pull it out, and add more lube because it will jack your day up. So just make sure it needs plenty. It's just the way it is for this case. That's just all it is to it. So what I like to do is I put a little bit on my Q-tip here. And I just like to run it around the inside of the case on the neck there. Get it a little lubed up. There's other ways of doing this, but this is just particularly my way of doing it. And I only got one hand here, so this stuff is liquid. And I don't have any of the wax, but I'll just put just a little bit of dab here and there. You know, just go around it. A little bit of lube. And I'll just run my fingers over it. Get it nice and good. I'll just put it in here. And we'll see how she does. And give a nice press. And out as pretty as you please. And it's nice and resized. You can see that the shoulder's been pushed back further. And we'll just go on and do a couple more here. Again, run it down the neck. I'll have to get me one of those trays. I'm sorry for not. Put a little bit of lube. And here's what happens. It might not do it this time. I still have plenty on it, but if you're trying to go skimp on the lube, don't, because it's not going to make for a very good day. So in, press, out. Like I said, this has got a lot of surface area, so it takes quite a bit. Like I said, any resistance you get, stop and pull it out because it will jam up in there. So I'm just going to do these other ones here real quick. I do need to get a pad. That is one thing I'm going to invest in today, actually. And they say that this particular lube right here works well on the pads as well. So there's nothing new and different needed. So even trying to pull it out is pretty tough. These Starline cases are really nice, but they're pretty strong. And we just do that and I'll get a few more done. All right, the next step after we resize, we're going to get into trimming the case. Book says trim to 1.575. However, you also go down to 1.570. That's what most people recommend on the forums I've read. If you go to 458 Socom forums, you'll find a lot of information. Anyway, that's what they say. Run it to 570, and then where it being a low pressure round is I've read where the guys have shot up to 10 rounds through it, or 10 times through a case, and they never had to trim. So this is kind of like a one and done, basically. Obviously, you can't always go by that. You always want to check after each firing, but they rarely need trimming. So I like this right here. It cost me $130. I think it's listed for $160 on Amazon, but if you sign up for the credit card, I got like a $30 rebate, so I got it for and free shipping. So I got it for $113 total, shipped to my house. So I like it a lot, and I got it just for this. Then I read you only got to trim it once, so I was like, well, shit. I bought this and I only got to use it to trim these. I'm done, but I'll probably have to buy no more calibers now just to justify the cost, right? Yeah, we always say that. Then we would trim it down, and for this it says give it a little turn just to make sure it's about a half turn, 3/4 turn. You can tell, there we go. Let's trim a little bit more there to make sure you just got a nice uniform mouth. There we go. Alright. Trim. Put that on that. Nice chamfer. And we burr it here. And like I said, I got mine set somewhere in between. So we'll see what I got here. Shit. Well, it's crooked. $5.73. So that's what I got mine set at. Not too short because I'm afraid I'm gonna go too short. But again, it's below the trim length anyway, so got those done. And the next step will be I'll throw them in the tumbler, get all the brass shavings out, and then get all the lube and stuff off of it. And after that, we'll get to the actual main part of the actual reloading. Alright, so now we got our rounds out of the case or the tumbler. Look nice and pretty now. All lubes off of it. We'll finish it out. So we got, I'm using Accurate 1680, 34 grains, getting around 1550 feet per second. Winchester primers, large pistol. That's what this calls for, is large pistol. Don't get rifle. And I'm using Berries and Rainier 350 grain each respectively, just to see which one would be, you know, the best plinker. Both of them perform pretty well so far. I think the Berries looks a little better, but other than that, you can see it's made for the 4570 because it has a crimping groove there. But be aware, don't seat to that because you will be too deep by by a good little bit. The book calls for 1.985 as your minimum overall length. I think I got mine set for 1.990 even, I think. But yeah, don't crimp or don't put it to the groove because you're going to be way too deep. Only go to what your measurements say. The only other thing is I can see there's a little bit of line around the top that's left by the seating stem or the actual seater. And not for sure just because they're just thin copper or, you know, just plated, that they're not, you know, hold up. But they haven't affected the performance, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, so let's go ahead and get done here. So we'll get a new case, hold up in there. And I'm just running this through. There's nothing doing nothing. It's just so I'm able to prime it here. Make sure it's primed now. So obviously we're not going to use that die because we've already used it. It's already resized. And with this die again, it lets the powder go through it. It also expands the bell out a little bit. If you can tell, use this one, and this one hasn't been run through it yet. And we kind of a pain in the butt to get it to sit on there, but I'll show you once we get it through here. Now this has been setting for a while. Not the powder, I just put it in there, but you always want to make sure nothing's happened, nothing's got twisted. You never know what could happen. You got kids like I do that can come here and, you know, crank that. Next thing you know, you blow your face up. So also there's a little gremlins that could happen too. So let's double check it. We got it set for 34 grains even. And as you can tell, she's getting ready to settle right on it. So perfect. So we'll get that out. Oh, better take the lid off. We'll just pour it back down in there. Alright, so now we know our powder's good. Which one I already got primed. There we go. I have done that before. Picked the wrong one up and shoot 34 grains right out the bottom. So boom. And then I just double check. Make sure, yep. We'll make sure nothing happened. You can tell it makes it boil a lot easier to seat in. It just sits right in there. Get that up in there. Before we crimp, we'll size it here. Make sure we didn't go too deep. .988. Nope, so we're good there. Almost right through here. Nice little crimp. And there you go. So I'll run a few more through here without all the blabbing, which I'm sure y'all probably been screaming the whole video, and I apologize. So we'll just do one real quick here without any talking. It's hard to do with your one hand here. Uh-oh. See what's gonna happen if you ain't paying attention. Alright. As you can see, that one's good. And let's put it in here. And that's what I got. I've already loaded up the berries. So I got 50 of those. If you're wondering, these are just federal just little plastic cases that 40 cal rounds come in. I had some left over. I was like, where am I going to put these? And I was like, you know what? By golly, they fit right in there. You know, just for temporary storage right now until I get some actual cases. But they'll fit right in there just perfect. So you can see how just easy that is. Just double check and triple check and be safe out there. I guess the only thing now is just load these babies up and put some down range. Only left to do now is to see what we can do against an unsuspecting pumpkin that I had laying around. Woo! Got some blowback in my face there. Yeah, I think we've succeeded. Too bad it was already kind of hollow. Oh yeah. Uh-oh, I dug a hole in the ground. Oh well. Have fun out there, guys. One more thing I like to go over with y'all real quick is the you maybe wondering if you're newly reloading, whether it be cost effective or whether it's worth reloading. For this round, yes, because it is like $2 to $3 depending on what you get. Now they're really high performance, hunting rounds. Mine are just plinkers, but here's what I got. So you figure it up. So 7,000 grains in a pound. I'm using 34 grains per case. That equals out to 205.88. Obviously, you can't load 0.88 of a bullet. So we got 205 rounds, so per pound. Mine has it. Now this I just now started. It's $25 per pound. That's out the door. I'm sure if I'm going to reload this, I need to, you obviously save more money if you buy 8-pounder. But for right now, we'll just say we just had this. So that divided by 205 rounds is basically 12 cents a round for the powder. The berries bullet I think is 24 cents a round, and the Rainiers are 18 cents a round. Now you couple that with 88 cents a case, and then 12 cents for each charge. That's $1.24 for the berries and $1.18 for the Rainier. Now that's the first time firing. Well, I just now add this on there. You got to add 3 cents of primer. So that's $1.27, $1.21. Now this is where your cost savings comes in. Once you go through the second time, your second, third, fourth, however many you shoot through it, each case, and I've heard they hold up quite well through several reloadings. Is say when nothing else changed, no prices went up, whatever. I'm getting 36 plus the 3 for the primers, 39 cents a round for the berries, and it'd be 33 cents a round for the Rainiers. So obviously, as you can see for this particular round, yes, it is, especially the second time through. Well, the problem is you better make sure you say or catch those Starline cases, because I've lost three, and at 88 cents a piece, it's kind of hard to swallow. But hey, y'all there's got to be sacrifices sometimes, I guess. So there you go. First time $1.24 or 18, depending on which one you get, and then just 36 cents and 30 cents for the second firing. So yeah, makes it pretty much, that's my Plinkum bullet. If y'all have any other suggestions, y'all can chime in.